The central, exhausting struggle for many parents over 60 is that retirement does not mean freedom. It means a new, often overwhelming set of demands from their grown children. This is a quiet and really deeply challenging reality that nobody prepares us for. It's this fundamental shift in the family dynamic that can leave you feeling just totally exhausted, overextended, and wondering, hey, where did the freedom I worked so hard for actually go?
Look, this isn't just a feeling you're having. It's a real phenomenon. That long-awaited chapter of your life, the one that was supposed to be for travel and hobbies and just rest, can so quickly become a full-time, unpaid job serving the needs of your adult kids. And it's such a delicate subject, right? It's filled with love and a deep sense of obligation, but it's a conversation we really need to have. So in this explainer, we're going to shine a light on this hidden dynamic and, more importantly, give you a clear, respectful path to protect your own autonomy without ever compromising the love you have for your family.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by defining what we call the hidden reversal and dig into why it's becoming so common. Then we'll get to the most powerful concept for your protection, autonomy as a boundary. From there, we'll get super practical with a step-by-step protocol for setting those boundaries safely and effectively. We'll wrap it all up with some wisdom for the long game and a clear, gentle path for you to get started today. All right, section 1, the hidden reversal. Let's just start by saying, what you might be feeling is real. If you felt that constant pull between wanting so badly to help and this growing sense of your own energy just draining away, you are so far from alone. This feeling of constant demand actually has a name, and putting a name to it is the very first step toward getting a handle on it. Okay, section 2. Why is this happening? Now let's dive into the roots of this reversal. Understanding the why is absolutely crucial because it helps us see that this isn't some kind of personal failing, not on your part, and honestly, not on your children's part either. It's really about a fundamental shift in our social and economic world. This is what we call the hidden caregiver reversal. It's this dynamic where the roles subtly, and sometimes, not so subtly, just flip. Your adult kids are often navigating these immense pressures, things like stagnant wages, the staggering cost of housing, and the almost unbelievable price of good childcare. So they start to lean on you not just for a little emotional support, but as an essential unpaid service provider. You become the default babysitter, the emergency loan provider, the on-call handyman, the family therapist, and while every single one of those requests comes from a place of love and genuine need, altogether they create a totally unsustainable expectation. And this gets to the absolute core of the problem. Your resources, your time, your physical and emotional energy, and your money, they aren't infinite. You spent decades building them up to give yourself security in retirement. But this caregiver reversal puts those finite resources at risk through these chronic, one-sided demands. It's usually not one big ask, right? It's the constant drip, drip, drip of requests. Can you watch the kids on Tuesday? Can you help me move this weekend? Can I just borrow a few hundred until payday? That leads directly to burnout. And this seesaw just perfectly illustrates that internal conflict, doesn't it? On one side, you've got that powerful, natural, and beautiful instinct to nurture and support your children. Of course you do. But when that instinct is put under constant, unrelenting pressure, it creates this critical imbalance, tipping the scales way over towards your own depletion. That beautiful instinct, when it's pushed too far for too long, actually becomes a threat to your health, your finances, and the very independence your retirement was supposed to guarantee. Okay, section 3, autonomy is the boundary. So now that we really understand the problem, let's start building a solution. We need to shift our thinking from just managing individual requests to setting up a whole new framework for protection. And this isn't about saying no to everything, it's about creating a sustainable system for saying yes. So that brings us to maybe the most important question in this entire explainer. When you're feeling overwhelmed, stretched, totally thin, and just depleted, what is the single most powerful defense you have to protect your well-being for the long term? The answer is this simple principle. Autonomy is the boundary. This is the core lesson. Your autonomy, your right to control your own time, your own energy, and your own resources is not selfish. It is the essential boundary that you have to protect. The whole solution is to start treating your own well-being and your finite resources as a non-negotiable asset, almost like a retirement fund that you simply cannot afford to drain prematurely. It's the fund that pays for your health, your peace of mind, and your freedom. And what's so crucial here is that the goal isn't to push your children away. Not at all. It's to create a sustainable, loving relationship that lasts.
This new framework is all about protecting your finite resources, making sure that any big assistance you give is either temporary or reciprocal in some way, and proactively securing your own independence, which, down the line, is a profound gift to both you and your children.
Section 4. The Boundary Setting Protocol. Okay, this might all sound good in theory, but how do you actually do it without causing a bunch of conflict or feeling guilty? Let's get practical. We're going to walk through a protocol of structured, strategic steps that you can apply safely and effectively.
Here are the 4 steps to reclaiming your autonomy. We're going to define your autonomy zones. We're going to implement the planned, not spontaneous rule. We'll learn how to use an objective boundary script. And finally, shift the focus back to your child's own capabilities. Let's break down each one. So step 1 is all about proactive protection. You need to define your non-negotiable autonomy zones. I want you to think of these like sacred, scheduled appointments with yourself right in your calendar. They are reserved just for you. This could be your Tuesday morning art class, your daily walk with a friend, your quiet time to read, or your weekend trips. This is not free time. These are protected appointments for your health and replenishment, and they are completely off limits to spontaneous demands.
Now, step 2 is a total game changer. Implement the planned, not spontaneous rule. This means for any request that isn't a true, genuine emergency, your default answer is, let me check my schedule and my energy budget for the week and I'll get back to you. This simple rule does something incredibly powerful. It gets rid of the pressure to give an immediate yes. It moves you from being reactive to being proactive, and it gives you the space to actually think about whether a request really fits within your capacity. You are now back in control.
All right, step 3, and this is maybe the most important tool in your kit. You need to develop and use an objective boundary script. This is a short, calm, non-emotional phrase that you can practice and use whenever you need to decline a request. And the magic of a script like this is that it frames your refusal as a matter of your own personal policy, not as a personal rejection of your child or their need. It just gracefully takes the emotional charge right out of the conversation. Let's look at this example script because it is so effective. Notice the specific words. It uses objective, neutral terms like commit, planned, energy budget, and financial budget. It doesn't say, I don't want to. It says, I can't commit. This communicates that you are managing your personal resources responsibly, just like you manage a household budget. It's firm, it's clear, it's loving, and it is very, very difficult to argue with because the boundary is based on your capacity, not your love for them.
And finally, we have step 4. After you use your script to set a boundary, you then shift the focus to your child's competence. This is a crucial act of empowerment. You can say something warm like, I have complete faith that you'll be able to find a great solution for this. This reinforces your belief in their ability to manage their own lives. It's a subtle but really profound shift. You're not just saying no to the request, you're also saying, I trust you to handle this, which is a powerful message that helps them build their own resilience.
Okay, section 5, wisdom for the long game. Now that we have the practical tools, let's just zoom out a bit and talk about the mindset. This isn't just some short-term strategy. This is about reframing the very meaning of support to make sure your relationships stay healthy and sustainable for decades to come. I really want you to let this idea sink in. Setting firm, respectful boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It is the ultimate act of responsible stewardship of your health, of your finances, and of your ability to be a true resource for your family in the future. I mean, think about it. A parent who is burned out, resentful, and financially drained can't offer meaningful support to anybody. And that really is the wisdom for the long game. By protecting your capacity now, by treating your autonomy as this precious, non-renewable asset, you're making sure that you can be there for your family when it truly matters, in times of genuine crisis, with wisdom, with love, and with the actual resources to help. You're preserving the health of the relationship itself for the long haul.
Section 6, your path forward.
So we've journeyed through the problem, the core principle, and all the practical steps. Let's bring this all together into one final actionable takeaway. This is your path forward, and it can start today.
I want to leave you with a gentle challenge. Sometime today, take out a piece of paper. First, just list the primary demands you're currently facing. Babysitting, financial help, errands, emotional support. Be specific and be really honest with yourself, without any judgment. Then, second, next to each one, give it a sustainability rating for you personally. Is the current level a high, medium, or low drain on your resources? This simple act is incredibly powerful, It takes all that emotional swirl out of your head and creates objective data. This becomes the foundation for your new boundary policy.
So let's bring it all home. Remember, that anxiety and exhaustion you might be feeling, it often comes directly from the unsustainable demands of this hidden caregiver reversal. The path to relief isn't about loving your children less, it's about stewarding your own resources with more wisdom. Your most helpful tools will be that objective boundary script and defining your non-negotiable autonomy zones. They're the keys to protecting your energy and your peace of mind. And please never forget the powerful truth we see here. Protecting your own self-sufficiency isn't just for you. It is the greatest gift of security you can offer your family's future, ensuring you remain a pillar of strength, not a well to be drained. It is an act of profound and lasting love.